Hello, good morning friends. Actually, let me continue. This is Shivakkumar here, and let me continue with the second part of this risk. I can say the risk and mitigation part, right? Whatever we discussed, in case of SAP EWM project, right? So we need to analyze the risk and then the mitigate in nothing but avoid or manage them before they turn into issues, right? So that is what we discussed in the first part, and now I am in the second part of this continuation, right? So the risk 6, when we have seen actually some 5 risk in my previous video, and as a part of continuation actually, so I like to discuss about the risk number 6, so which is about ineffective, rigid and political project leaderships, right? On a very large undertaking like SAP implementation, the project leadership plays a crucial role in the success of your project. It is not uncommon to see corporate executives, that is the level of vice presidents and senior directors, right? So in that positions, right? So in the project leadership, who are slow decision makers, enforcing or cumbersome decisions making process when not needed, and creating unnecessarily political environments, thereby causing bottlenecks and impeding project progress. So we can treat an SAP transformation initiative as a fast moving train, and every project leader should adjust and cope with the pace of the trainer rather than slowing it. Okay, what we precisely mean is that a lot of decisions of SAP projects needed to be made very quickly, and issues should be resolved in an expedited manner. Okay, this will help tasks and deliverables on a critical path completed in a timely manner without affecting the dependent activities. We use this train example very often and suggest that every leader in SAP project should be flexible, adaptive and work collaborative with the project leadership to meet one common goal of the project, right? So therefore successful on time and on budget go live. So individual decision making authorities always have leadership backup to expedite the decision making. So the leadership and the steering committee escalations if bottlenecks are causing the project release, right? So engage an independent leadership QA advisors to monitor, resolve and escalate these issues without any influence of the project or a corporate environment. Okay. So risk mitigation. So based on the ineffective, rigid and political project leadership, what are the mitigations? So select the project leadership, executive sponsor, business leads, ID lead, changing and training lead and project management lead from your internal organization that have been proven track record of successful IT transformation implementations. Make sure these executives are flexible, capable of handling complex project challenges and able to take decisions without causing bottlenecks on the project. Once ineffective and a political leader can bring the whole project down, make sure that you have leaders that are excellent team workers and and not the ones that are eager to demonstrate power and authority. Okay, have a backlog of several key project decisions that need to be made with an ultimately become showstopper or the whole project. Okay, the whole project. The project leadership decision makes should have backup individuals who can evaluate situations and make decisions in scenarios whether primary decision maker or not available on or track bandwidth. Okay, so the critical project leaderships and issues should be proactively escalated to the project sponsor and the steering committee. The steering committee also be presented with analysis, alternative and possible solutions to risk and issues that are escalated. So the communication is the key between the project leadership, and it is important that there is a full transparency about the project key decisions, risk, issues and status between these leaders. Okay, and on a large SAP projects, we recommend that project leadership should meet at least once in every week. Okay, so the project leadership should keep an anonymous project feedback as a suggestion box for the project team members to provide project feedback, expression concerns, raise potential problems and suggest avenues of improvement. This will ensure that major unforeseen and project issues and challenges are reviewed and addressed in a timely manner. This gives every project team member, irrespective of their role and title, to voice their concerns or suggest improvements on the project. Okay, so this is very important on the untimely decisions. So risk number 7, offshoring SAP design and build effort. Okay, so it is a cost saving or risk doubling. So actually we can think on that. So the tighter control on the resource skills, work quality and on-time delivery capabilities. So these will function more. So offshore development centers of Big 5 and other SAP system integrators have proven to be cost-effective option to lower the cost of overall SAP implementation. The same SAP skilled resources that cost between $200 to $300 per hour on-site in the US can be available offshore in countries such as India, Philippines, Europe, etc. for 30 to 70 per hour dollars. Okay, there is no trainer cost saving initiative for any SAP project, but offshoring your SAP project works comes within its own set of risks and challenges that clients in the US are not aware or often hidden due to the lack of visibility thousands of miles away. Some of the major risks with offshore development centers are having the following. So underqualified resources in design and build teams, major discrepancies between the actual deliverable progress versus the one reported in a weekly project leadership meetings. So lack of key senior SAP functional and technical key members on the offshore team, which leads to the critical solution quality risk, and language and cultural barriers leading to the project work ethics being compromised, which can lead the major project deliverable issues to go unreported and escalated till the very last minute. So incorrect project progress reporting by offshore leaders to alleviate concerns and anxiety of project leaderships. Lost in transactions, often business requirements are missed or misinterpreted, and similarly functional designs and so on. So SAP customers such as your company does not have visibility and leadership control on what happens in the offshore development center for your project. We realize that as a huge risk on many SAP implementations. Recently, our company launched a new practice of offshore SAP QA and advisory leadership, which allows one of our experienced SAP senior executive to be your exclusive independent QA representative and work on site at the project offshore delivery center. This is not the focus here. If you need more information, then you can reach out the company which is having the standard practice, right? So for this offshoring SAP design and build effort, so we have the mitigation. So the best way to make sure your project offshore team is transparent, effective and well qualified to deliver your project on time is to engage a third-party SAP project QA advisor, one of the many offerings in the big companies, right? So they are not the part of the company, but they are outside the third-party vendors, right? That will allow a senior SAP industry leader to serve as your executive representative. As the offshore location closely working with the offshore leadership, the entire offshore project team and collaborative with your internal US project leaderships. Remember that is a resource that does not work to for your SAP systems. So system integrator, but for the SAP customer leadership, right? An offshore SAP QA project leader or advisor will mitigate all the risk mentioned above during the below things. Okay, so interview and select each offshore project leader and team member by conducting project management, SAP functional and technical interviews. Ensure balanced SAP design and build teams with adequate number of architects, senior designers, decision makers, developers with some room for the junior SAP resources. Review project and deliverable progress with offshore SAP project managers and also conducting independent verification of these project deliverables. Ensure end-to-end SAP solution integration with collaboration between project teams across various work centers. Independently report project progress to project sponsor and leadership. Also proactively report offshore project risk, issues and recommended areas of improvement to deliver high quality SAP solutions, and ensure that the level of communication between the business SME and on-site team members is appropriate so that the business can and SAP requirements are clearly understood. Okay, and risk number 8. Okay, so which talks about inaccurate or incorrect or incomplete work estimation on SAP project resulting in cost overruns and schedule delays. Okay, several project fails to end up being the prolonged due to the cost overruns as a result of the work effort being inaccurately or incompletely estimated. So project estimation is a crucial factor in deciding the cost, right? So SAP projects have been have been no exception to this situation. Work estimations should be done at a various point on the SAP implementation. Blueprint work estimation should be done during the project planning phase. After SAP software is fit gap is complete and rise of inventory is finalized, the work effort should be estimated for the design, build, testing and deployment of your SAP system. So from where do these estimations risk surfaces, right? Often project estimators or estimations persons from the system integrator do not include the client employees, SMEs, analysts, etc. They are required to be consulted or complete the deliverables. So estimates in producing deliverables should include the time requirement from SI as well as system integrator as well as the client resources. So the work efforts for the SAP solutions related items should directly be tied to a rise of object or SAP configuration objects. Legacy or external systems remediation effort to integrate the systems with SAP should be added. The estimation should be added to the above estimates. Sometimes work effort is associated with mandatory SAP work streams such as hardware setup, security, system administration, that is therefore basis, and network administration is often missed. Note, the re-estimation should be done in an early realization phase. If you realize the rise of objects are taking longer than the expected due to the project cultural or operational barriers, okay, they should ideally be resolved by the project leadership, and if not addressed can be delay and entire project. Okay, the entire project will be delayed. There may be some rise of objects, especially a selected few enhancements that are superior or a super complex, and as such this should be estimated separately, because these super complex objects may take much longer to be designed and developed. Okay, so the risk for this inaccurate, incomplete work estimation in SAP project causing the cost overruns and schedule delays will be mitigated by make sure each rise of configurations and other work object is classified as high, medium or low, and work efforts include design, build and testing efforts from the system integrator as well as the client resources. It may be good idea to parallel prototype of 2 to 3 rise of objects to convince the project leadership that rise of development can be optimistically delivered as per the estimates. Verify the project estimates include hardware, software setup and network administration, security and SAP system administration's effort. Okay, so estimation should also include duration based work effort components such as PMO, OCM or training and testing. So it is very important that super complex enhancements are estimated separately and not by this estimators pool. Okay, estimators tool. So it should be done through the separate enhancement kind of tool. Okay, so this will allow for the accurate reflection of work effort for completion of this complex enhancement on the project plan. Okay, so these are the things. And then when coming to choosing an as a risk number 9, choosing an incorrect system integrated with a limited track record of successful SAP systems delivery in a specific SAP industry solution can lead to project failure on multiple fronts. Okay, so this is one risk can be avoided if you follow the principle on which we basically operate on an SAP project. During yearly blueprint and there are on your project leadership may realize that you have not chosen the best SAP system integrator for the variety of reasons. These reasons may include poor quality resources that lack proper SAP knowledge, project delays, poor project executions and so on. It can be very painful and cost prohibitive to change your SAP system integrator at the end of the phase and more. So in the middle of the project phase, right? More on the I can say the system integrator at the end of the project phase and more in the middle of the project phase. So it can be very useful and more prohibitive to change your SAP system integrator at the end of the phase and more so in the middle of the project phase. As such, it is very important to be carefully evaluated, verify and strategically engage SAP system integrator for your project during the project pre-planning phases. We specifically we have specialized in this advisory services over the years, but here we want all the companies to be smart and proactive about choosing the right qualified and system integrators. Okay, so what are the mitigations for choosing an incorrect systems integrators with a limited track record of successful SAP systems delivery? So in a specific industry solution can lead to the project failure on multiple fronts, right? So what are the risk and mitigations against the risk? So verify the SAP system integrators vendors bidding for your implementation have implemented specific SAP solutions at 2 or more customers in your specific industry. Conduct reference calls with these customers. Check how these vendors have performed on these other SAP products. Was the delivery in line with the original project budget and the timeline? Ensure that the system integrator or a vendor partner and senior executive that will be part of your projects also have been the part of at least one of these prior SAP implementations. It is important that senior executives and client partners have successful track record in delivering SAP transformation projects in your industry. Include financial and corrective penalties in the statement of work in case of project milestones or queue gates are delayed. So it is absolutely critical to include clear and detailed scope of work in the SAW. SAW should not have any ambiguities that can compromise the successful delivery of the project. So engage an independent SAP project advisor similar to ours right from the beginning of the project if your project budget allows. So risk number 10. So in an inefficient project management office PMO with poor project visibility, deliverable tracking issues, risk management and the communication shortfalls, right? So this is one of the area where I have we have to oddly compromise when settings my expectations from the PMO of the SAP projects so that we serve. So the PMO is the backbone of any IT or transformation projects, and most of what is mentioned here above the PMO applies to SAP as well as non-SAP projects. PMO should serve as a source of truth to the projects and accurate project status at any point in time. So you should provide full visibility of the project status by representing the clear picture of work activities, tasks and deliverable progress. So we expect the SAP project manager and PMO team to work with the individual business, IT and other systems and other underlying work streams to gather correct work progress and reflect the same in the project management tool such as MS Project. A highly effective PMO is one that deploys, monitors and enforces the proper usage of tools and mention and methods and properly manage time spent by the project resources to deliver the task as per the plan. The PMO should ascertain that all the project risk and the issues are entered into the risk and issues management tool and ensures resolution of these items in a timely manner as set in the project charters. So what are the risk factors? Okay, verify that PMO is working with a good project plan with well-defined work breakdown structure that depict accurate progress of tasks and deliverables. Every week PMO team should work with the team leads and update the project plan. Any delays in completion of risk and task and deliverables should be reflected in the team leads weekly report and also highlighted in the weekly PMO meeting. SAP project manager, also referred as a PMO lead, should work with the program manager, project sponsors and the independent project advisors to discuss the project progress and also seek recommendation to bring the project back on track in case of delays. In blueprint, PMO must ensure that all the business requirements, BPRD documents, SAP solution design documents, SAP solution architecture documents, organization change and management strategy, etc. as reviewed and approved by the business or IT lead and other corporate stakeholders. So in realization, PMO must ensure that each rise of object or functions and functional and technical designs, unit tests and UATs are approved by the customer, business and IT teams. No deliverable should be set as complete in the project plan unless it is reviewed and fully accepted by the business leads. Project capital and expenses should be accurately tracked as per the guidelines from the leadership and the CFO, that is Chief Financial Officer. Total project cost incurred should be reported on a weekly basis in the project leadership meeting. So these are the very important risk and related mitigations. I hope actually the risk and mitigations I have discussed will be more useful for all the PMOs, project managers, project directors, and then COOs and CFOs, right? So this is very important. Thanks for watching my videos. This is Shivakkumar. Hello, good morning friends. Actually, let me continue